Hello, is the Censored Campaigner here with a new stream. And this stream, I'm going to be going over the event week for this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. But yes, starting off, as you might be able to tell from my title, not in my usual format. When I do content editions, I do like week whatever editions. This one, I have like event week streams. That basically means there's no major content addition in the game whatsoever. So this is not a very eventful week to be. It's not a very eventful week to be completely honest. If you're open for major content, there's nothing of the sorts. But yes, starting off here and going on the main menu here. It's just a little reminder here for like the special events. I guess there's a little bit of different stuff here that wasn't a thing before, but some of that has been something that's went on for a couple weeks now. This time around, there is 2 times rewards for the Project Overthrow and any LSA operations. Project Overthrow should be the brand new thing of contact missions. I'm pretty certain that's what that is for the new Andreas Mercenaries DLC, the contact missions for this update. And those are the ones that you have to enter the pause menu and stuff for. And I believe they're more typical payouts as well. They're not like crazy money making like the short trips, I believe, are, where you can get like 100,000 on like the short trip missions, but that's where you have like limited weaponry, where your opponent's like Franklin Lamar, so it kind of makes sense for those, I guess. But yeah, for contact mission like payouts, to double money on that's not necessarily going to be the greatest. Maybe like 40 to 50,000 probably. I'm not going to go into too much more details than that because I still haven't really played them myself though. I might be playing them in a few days though, finally, but still. LSA Operations, on the other hand, I felt it was kind of the one worth putting on the title since, one, it's some of the newer content in the game and there's 2 times the money on it right now. 2, in terms of difficulty stuff, it's basically reskinned security contracts. From what I've heard, you have like professional, you have specialist, and specialist plus difficulties on the LSA operations, similar to what you have with the security contracts. Fun fact as well, by the way, the security contracts will also be a money opportunity as well, but I'll go a bit more into later on because it's not really on the main menu here right now. Because I want to go over strategies for that all. Oh, and by the way, on the double rewards on Project Overthrow, there's stuff going on with it over here in the plus section as well, so if you have that, then it becomes triple for that as well. If for some reason that's kind of your thing. Which could maybe make some of those missions, if they go long enough, like 60 to 70-ish thousand dollars, which for compact missions is actually pretty nice. But you do need that paid, like $5-6 a month subscription, which I don't really recommend personally. If you're on a 9th generation system only, by the way, as well, because that's not a thing on the 8th gen or PC even. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to go over too much details in terms of money making on that new stuff. I still haven't personally played any of that yet. I still got to do that for the liveries and stuff. I'll probably be doing that after on streams and stuff, a few days later. And yeah, the earning rare collectibles part in the San Andreas Mercenaries event, it's basically just been the like conveyor livery for like the V65 Molotov, like the Avenger livery thing going on as well. That's been going on for the last couple weeks. And yeah, I did have something more interesting on my main menu, but I had my spawn on the agency because I was actually playing a little bit before doing this event stream, which I usually don't do. Though I have been doing that significantly since career progress has been a thing. There was the thing about the Avengers stuff, which I found a lot more interesting, but unfortunately now I just have Premium Deluxe Showroom showing up on here, which is unfortunate. Looks like the Hustler, I believe that is, on the top left. The Swinger, I'm thinking in the middle there or something. I think that's one of the Red News or something on the top right or something. Omni Hermes there looks to be a 30% off right now. Omni Hermes, I don't believe it's the greatest performance-wise or anything, but it's a pretty cool vehicle. It's a pretty cool flashback nostalgic vehicle from Grand Theft Auto Vice City. It's pretty cool from that game. And then it's a regular JB700. I'm pretty sure that's the regular one there that's been vaulted from the websites. I'm pretty sure. I'll be absolutely sure. I'll check on the newswire and stuff right now. Alright, so it is looking like the Hermes will be the only discount there. Might talk a little more about the other vehicles when I get into the actual game though, maybe. Not like exact performance numbers like I will for the Hermes here. I only really do that for stuff on discount, but yes. Okay, going on to Bruffy1322 spreadsheet. Bruffy1322 is a racing YouTuber. So the information here would be very reliable. In the muscle class at best, the Albany Hermes is E tier. In the muscle car class, E tier would not be great. That gives it 31st place in terms of lap time. And then you do get 16th place in terms of top speed, but those numbers are a good bit out of top 10, so I wouldn't really get it for the performance. I would really just get it for customization. If I remember correctly, there is something pretty interesting in terms of like hydraulic usage and stuff that has a little bit. It's not crazy like lowrider kind of hydraulics that you can do at like Benny's, but I think there's a little like hydraulic thing that's automatically equipped on it, which is kind of cool. I think it just like lowers the vehicle as you like drive or something. It's kind of pretty unique and interesting there, at least. Though I gotta say, the Audi Hermes in 2017 you could actually get the Albany. In 2017 you could actually get the Albany Hermes for free, I'm pretty sure, through I believe it was during Festive Surprise 2017. They gave the vehicle for free. It was a free vehicle thing they did that year. So anything that's not free is technically a ripoff on the Hermes, but it shouldn't be too overly expensive with or without a discount. It's a pretty cool flashback vehicle in Vice City, so you might as well get it if it's nostalgic. If it's got some good nostalgia to you, at least. Plus stuff is still going on for current batch, as I've kind of shown already. But they really like to promote it, so double rewards, project overflow, LSA operations. Yeah, I think that's basically just saying what was on the left. Doesn't really look like there's anything new here to really talk about there now. Okay, some agency discounts are going on, which is pretty damn nice. There is a general 40% off of agency properties, and then you can also get like upgrades and modifications as well. So that includes stuff like your vehicle workshop, whatever, where you can do like the Amani Tech stuff. Should include your like armory or whatever as well, where you can get like certain weapons like the stun gun and stuff like that. Looks like there's also going to be 40% off the Avenger Weapon Workshop and Avenger Vehicle Workshop upgrades. That's actually what I had on my main menu before, but it went away for the Simeon thing. But it is mentioned here apparently as well, so it's good. I thought I would have to talk about it in game, thankfully I don't. Okay, so that's a bit to break down there. Agency property. To be honest, that's a very damn good property discount. Security contracts is a very damn good money-making method. Also gives you access to payphone hits as well. While the payphone hits, I believe, were nerfed with the Andreas Mercenaries DLC, where I think it's 48-minute cooldown, just like the full gun jobs they did in like the Drug War DLC. If you combine security contracts and payphone hits, it's still a very damn nice money-making method. Plus, I think I might have heard you might be able to find multiple payphone hits for like the actual payphones in the game. Granted, if you do it that way, your 48-minute cooldown, I believe, resets, but you can do a payphone hit for the phone, like your actual like character's phone, and then apparently you can find like other payphones throughout the map and still do more payphone hits, and not necessarily have to wait the 48-minute cooldown from what I've heard. So it's not as bad of a nerf. Not necessarily as bad of a nerf as people say it is in a way. It's a pretty annoying nerf they did with the new Andreas Mercenaries DLC, having to wait 48 minutes for payphone hits instead of like 20 or whatever now, but whatever. You get some pretty nice money opportunities that work very damn nice with each other for sure. I think the agency definitely has better money opportunities than what Drug Wars had, to be honest. Drug Wars money opportunity stuff I don't recall being all that great, aside for the Acid Lab. The Acid Lab's like the one good thing there. I would say it's definitely one of the bigger money making properties in the last couple years, I would argue. So agency is a very damn nice property discount. Certain amenities and stuff like that you get with the agency, though, is basically like nerfed versions of the CO office. Like, for example, with the CO office, you can spawn whatever vehicle you want from any property, if I recall right, from a CO office. So, like, even if you have something like a 10-car apartment garage that's separate from your, like, CO, you can, like, spawn a vehicle like that with your office. But with your agency, you're only limited to vehicles, like your land vehicles that you actually store in your agency, which is a little bit of a downside. Another little bit of a downside, comparing it to the CO office as well. CEO office lets you spawn like weaponized helicopters like the Buzzard, Annihilator, I think as well, and like the Savage, Valkyrie, and stuff like that. You can't spawn any weaponized helicopters, unfortunately, when it comes to agency though. Which is kind of one downside when it comes to grinding security contracts and stuff. You have to like spawn a weaponized helicopter like when you're outside the property and whatnot. But still, those are very minor complaints. It's still a very damn nice property nevertheless. I highly recommend it. And yeah, I think I have the most expensive one personally. I do think it's a very nice location to have since it's the closest one over to the casino, but I don't know. There might be one location that's pretty bad that has like popos and like a police station and whatnot. As for upgrades, modifications, yeah. Some of the upgrades and modifications they're actually still expanding on a little bit with current DLCs. You can still get new Amani Tech vehicles. They keep adding more and more Amani Tech vehicles over the years. Within the last couple of years, ever since the contract, I've been adding more of the Amani Tech eligible vehicles, which has definitely been quite nice. Definitely significantly expands the use of that vehicle workshop, so definitely be sure to get the vehicle workshop for sure. They've been using it very heavily the last couple of years, even with the newest updates. Armory, on the other hand, Armory is kind of a little redundant now, but it is one of the better ones. They put like the newer stuff in the gun van only, I believe, at this point, which kind of makes sense. They want people going to the gun van for a reason. But still, there's stuff there you cannot get. Ammunition. I think you can get the alien weapons at any point at the agency, unless they changed it lately. But I think even with Drug Wars, where they added the gun van, you can still get the Widowmaker, the Unholy Hellbringer, and an Up and Atomizer at the agency, as long as they did not change that. With the Andreas Mercenaries or anything. Otherwise, they have exclusive stuff like the Compact EMP launcher, which shoots out like EMP grenades. Could be nice for certain things, but it's not as useful as it sounds. It's not airburst like the Up and Atomizer, but it's a very damn nice utility weapon, nevertheless. And then, what else, though? Oh yeah, and then the stun gun. I don't think I mentioned too much details about the stun gun. I just said you can get it kind of exclusively over there. But yes, the stun gun, not the most useful thing. The stun gun, if I could speak right, and then the stun gun. There's a reason it was gone from the online for like 8 years compared to it being a thing from like 2013 in story mode. And that's because the cooldown is so much worse on the stun gun, so you can't just like stun spam and whatnot, and you can't do like fast reload trick like you can with all the other weapons. So, stun gun is usually not too useful, but it's a juggernaut killing machine though. It is definitely a juggernaut killing machine though. I actually did the 16 like wave. I actually reached wave 16 solo by myself with the use of the stun gun on the nuclear silo survival. Yes, that is right. I'll go a little more in detail later on. I actually really want to say stuff about that. It was pretty fun actually. And I was something I did off stream. I was not going to be playing a survival for like hella like few to several hours on stream. Hell no. When it's old content and stuff for the career progress and stuff. Maybe I'll make a guide on it at some point. I don't know. It was pretty fun. So yes, stun gun is pretty useful for solo survival runs for that new career progression thing if you're on the next gen system. That can definitely finally get you some nice use there. That wasn't too necessary beforehand per se. And then moving on to the Avenger stuff here, 40% off Avenger Weapon Workshop and Vehicle Workshop upgrades. It just sounds like you're getting a couple of the old ones from like the Doomsday Heist update. It makes sense they would be the ones from the Doomsday Heist update and not some of the newer upgrades that you could get with the latest Andreas Mercenaries DLC. Unlike the MOC, you're not limited to unlike the MOC, you are not limited to like what you can have. The MOC, you have like cab space and stuff you have to worry about. You can't have like all the different cabs and whatnot, so you're pretty limited there. But yeah, you might as well get the weapon workshop so you can customize your Mark II weapons there, and then the vehicle workshop lets you customize certain weaponized vehicles there. Particularly from like the gun running and like the Doomsday Heist updates, especially is where you can like upgrade certain vehicles from those updates. Though with the arena and the arena workshop, that's not as needed anymore, but it's still pretty nice to have. So definitely take advantage of those. And everything else there is just older stuff. Okay, so I should be ready pretty much to go into the game now at this point. Let me make sure nothing's going on at all on this. I think there is stuff going on with races, but it seems they don't really bother with putting the indicators in here. They're a bit lazy with some of that stuff, I'll be quite honest with the main menu. And yeah, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, with the latest update, I'm kinda considering moving over to the hangar as a more permanent spot since they adjusted stuff with the hangar and whatnot, making it pretty damn good. So I don't know. I'm legit wondering if I should do hangar as my main spawn at this point. Especially since the Caprico nurse and stuff's not anywhere near as fun to do anymore. For like a long time now. I don't know, maybe updates to hangar finally get me changing my main spawn location. I might decide that after some of those like stuff I gotta do for like the money stuff in the next few days though. Sparrow is just such a quick helicopter compared to like most of the hangar craft for top speed though, and I'm not sure I really want to do that, to be honest. Sparrow is pretty much the best top speed helicopter, I swear, so maybe I would be better off staying in Xaka, I don't know. Sure, I'll do the stash house this time. Stash houses, I would say, are honestly better than the Finder Keeper thing, I'll be quite honest. Because the other one's like a blue free mode event. Blue dot free mode events really aren't the most reliable spawnings, so I probably still prefer the stash houses, like I was predicting before. Now, I did get a gun running one near the end of the live stream last time, so like, do know from experience. And that took me hours of looking to finally get one to actually spawn. Wait, the stash houses are definitely a pretty nice way to start the stream if you don't want to get in the game. Business supplies can definitely be quite essential for my money making. It was actually most of my money making, I think, last time. I apparently have almost all my special cargo warehouses filled up right now, so I do really need some special cargo, actually. Keep getting special cargo raids as well, and I'm not even a CO as well, which is really annoying. So I guess changes of Criminal Enterprise, they made it where you can get rated as a non-CO. But you can get rated even without being CO anymore, which is really annoying though. I finally got to get in the area to shoot them at, finally. $28 for U98, looks like. First number's pretty good, not really too much for the first one though. Alright, looks like I got cocaine supplies. And before that business has to be set up again. And before that business has to get set up again, and like it doesn't matter in the first place. So that's what kind of happened to me before Andreas Mercenaries, apparently. Again, like certain invite-only stuff. Again, certain invite-only stuff's not Criminal Enterprise. You apparently deal with more business raids in the game because of that. From my experience. Because I've definitely had ones even without being CO, for example. Granted, my MC ones might have been when I was MC, though, to be fair, but yeah. and do one. Apparently that's a little preview on the opportunity there. Alright, the daily regular time trial right now for Saturday looks to be up and at 'em. Saturday's daily RC Bandito time trial looks to be Boundwood Bowl, which I think is actually one of the newer ones, actually. I think it's one of the few new ones, actually, there. So I could do it, but I'm not even that big on RC Bandito to really get out the way of doing it. The weekly HSW town trials, since those are still weekly, and that will be Textile City. But yeah, no true need to go over vehicle advice much since there's no part-time, like, without being in an actual vehicle. HSW town trials, the part-time's determined on what HSW vehicle you use, like the classing of the vehicle and whatnot. So it's not the most necessary to give vehicle advice since you technically really use whatever you want. But some of the newer ones, like the Monstrosity and the Singer TT and stuff, has definitely been setting some new records. So some of the newer ones are definitely some of the nicer ones. Pretty much all the newer ones so far, maybe aside for the Bravado Buffalo EVX, since it's electric, and therefore the performance suffers a little bit because of that. It's like Monstrosity, Stinger TT would probably be your better options there. I'll do a Monstrosity run event sometime. Premium race for the week goes to the motorcycle class. And if you are big on doing the daily time trials, it might be worth listening to this information as well. But yes, on 9th gen you only have one HSW motorcycle in the game that's clearly going to be the most worthwhile thing to use on 9th gen, and that would be the HSW Hotshot Drag. Unless it's super top speed heavy, it would mostly be useful for lap time situations, which for the most part it probably will have some lap time with cornering. If there's cornering in the race at all, then it's going to be lap time heavy probably. Mostly good for lap time, pretty damn good top speed as well. And then yeah, for 8th gen, where your options are not going to be as clear, you have stuff like the Nagasaki Shotaru, which is pretty nice. The Tron bike Nagasaki Shotaru is pretty nice. That one you can lean forward or backward with that stick for the best possible speed for your left stick. Same as well goes to the Western Power Surge, whatever, the latest motorcycle edition from the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. Western Power Surge is pretty damn good for lap time. Acceleration's pretty nice on it as well, apparently. It's a nice acceleration, being the only electric motorcycle in the game. Just like how this latest update had the latest, like, only electric muscle car, I believe. So yeah, being the only electric motorcycle for the Power Surge definitely has its nice advantages. Power Surge is apparently like Shotaro, where you can do forward or backward with your stick, for your left stick for your best possible speed. As if you're doing wheelie or a stoppie, which makes it especially nice. Regular Hotshot Drag is pretty good for where you don't have HSW on the Hotshot Drag for 8th gen. And yeah, the Hotshot Drag, you do forward on the stick as if you're doing a stoppie for your best possible speed on your left stick for the Hotshot Drag. Same with HSW as well. And yeah, you can even use a pretty budget motorcycle with the Body 801. Body 801 from day one of the game. That's a pretty good budget motorcycle at only like $15,000 for the basic vehicle. So something as cheap from 2014 as Body 801 can work pretty well too. Talk about the rest of it, I'm probably just gonna land here at the casino. So I'm not derping around in the sky with a Sparrow, possibly crashing or something here. And yes, on the rare circumstance where you probably want to be prioritizing top speed over lap time, if it's on like a highway, if it's on the airport runway, for Zancudo, and you ever like highway, like airport runway kind of thing in the game, that's a huge street. A couple recommendations for that as well. One recommendation that's pretty good for 9th gen and 8th gen, actually, believe it or not, is the Western Reaver from the Contract DLC. Western Reaver from the Contract DLC has pretty insane top speed, apparently. And apparently the top speed, from what I've heard, is a bit better than Drag on HSW even, which is pretty insane. Again, the main difference on the Drag and the Reaver is Drag's better for lap time for HSW version, and then Reaver tends to be better for top speed. So definitely Western Reaver pretty much is the way to go for top speed. Another kind of good option I would say would be the Maibatsu Manchester Scowl from the Caprico Heist DLC. That's a pretty good motorcycle for top speed as well, since it is a dirt bike. Manchester Scowl, since it is a dirt bike, it can get some off-roading advantage that you might not get with the Western Reaver, for example. So that's a couple good top speed options for 8th gen, where you do not have the HSW Honda Drag. You know what? Since I do have the export vehicle, I'll do the export vehicle and maybe just get the HSW time trial out the way right now, because I don't have to do it later. Then why not? And hopefully don't encounter any other export vehicles. But I do want my tuner reputation for my car meet rep, so I am gonna do it though. Oh yeah, I actually might have just reached 217 lately, I think, as well, so I might want to check for that when I get to car meet. Oh, it's a Cheetah Classic thing, that's cool. Okay, it is. I think this was actually the prize ride last week. I think this was actually the prize ride from last week, if I recall, which was pretty cool. Cheetah Classic's a very damn nice sport classic vehicle, so that's a cool one to get. I think it's the one from Grand Theft Auto Vice City, or if it's not the Vice City Cheetah Classic, I imagine it's for sure the San Andreas one, if not. I know Grand Theft Auto 3 is a Cheetah as well, but for the, like, sport classic, like, classic supercars ability you pull from Vice City or San Andreas, usually I feel it is. For the models of them in the older Cheetah games. I wrecked one of the pop-up headlights, that's unfortunate. Oh well. Doesn't even impact the pail anyway, so. It's not even impact pail anyway, so no. Okay, yes, I did get T17 lately, but I don't think I saw what clothing item I got there, so I'll have to look a little bit now. Oh yeah, that's right, $500 from the supply, not supply, but stash allowance. Eh, I think I'm gonna talk about the survival thing when I get to agency and whatnot, since yeah, I said it was because of the stun gun I did so good on it. And that's something I could talk about with the agency, and I do kinda maybe want to do a security contract on the stream, show how good it is. But yes, I think I will do the HSW Tundra right now, Textile City, like I said, just so I can get out the way sooner rather than later. Because, yeah, there's a racing challenge tier 3 that I need to actually do right now. What I was actually doing when I was on before, like, doing this live stream, I was actually playing on, like, Friday, and I don't usually play much before I do the live streams, but since career progress I have, I've made some tier 1 and tier 2 racing challenges, essentially. And one of them requires, like, 25, like, beating the par times per time trial, so do you want to be doing this for sure, for the HSW at least. I'm not really big on the racing one. I don't think there's a huge reward for it, aside from maybe like the Growler livery, and I think that is like tier free, actually, funnily enough, too. I am gonna do one more, whoops.
You're through to your garage. You, need me to bring you a ride?
Sometimes I accidentally go too high, I think, for Moore's Mutuals, that's why I did it like that near the end. Probably really should do more of those, like, garage poses, to be honest, off stream, to be honest, but I'm pretty used to what I need to go in at this point, to be honest. Something that could have been nice when you're at the beginning of the game, to be honest, but back on like 360 days, I feel like I should have thought of something like that, to be honest, but okay, HSWs are still weekly, and these are like 200,000 for the like 50,000 is the new amount, so I'm pretty sure for this daily ones, of course there's all kind of people in here now. Yeah, this could be a pretty interesting one here for sure. Wow, this dude trying to find me, this old dude trying to find me. Oh, I can't even, that's alright. Because this vehicle's like unfinished as hell, it's all bugged and shit. I can't even use my weapon in here. Because apparently one of the modifications you can't use a weapon in here somehow, which makes no sense. Apparently something like roll cage being you can't use a weapon in it for some reason. Or like multiple roll cage options even. I just steamroll over a bunch of fuckers there since, yeah. Had to do that since they were all in the way. But yes, Monstrosity can definitely be a pretty interesting one here for sure. And it's actually better go this way, kind of. Right, I think so. Yes, I think I was right in doing that then. I'm surprised I didn't have a crash yet until there somehow, but I was probably because I was saying that. And I have my face to my controller since I'm using a DualSense mic after all. Yeah, just gonna have a quite fun one because of the off-road. It's the one off-road. It's the one off-road HSW vehicle after all, so it's definitely gonna be a pretty fun one to use here. But I bought that on the like Rogers Scrapyard one, and that's starting like Sandy Shore, but you couldn't really even use the off-roading that well on that one. So I would not necessarily even balance these here as well. But this one does an under and stuff, whereas like the Rogers Scrapyard is on like an actual road still. Perhaps it could be nice there. Oops, I almost spun out, I felt. I was so busy talking on this mic and didn't. Oh yeah, something nice off-roading. Let's go. Boom. That one felt like a breeze. Didn't feel like I dominated this one so hard since the drag, I feel, to be honest, which is my first vehicle used for these stages to be time trials. Right now, at 24,284,153. Pretty sure, I guess, since I was talking about racing stuff, talked about this all year. I was doing tier 2 on Friday. I did like a Kyle Preco race, like a open wheel. It was off of your actual vehicle classes, and it's not off of like special types like Kyle Preco per se. Since I did like a regular air race and then I did a Kyle Preco air race, it only counted towards one. And one was like jet, one was helicopter, so only one air race actually counted, for example. But I was wondering about that. Yeah, I did like HSW and like a muscle car, I did an air race. I'm trying to think of the few that did count. I won like a Kyle Preco Sport Classic one that some person left since I dominated them so hard. I dominated someone so hard they literally left when I beat their ass in the Sport Classic one with a Turismo Classic, and they were using like a regular like 190Z or some shit. I did like a sport race for Community Series, I believe is one of the few I won, and then trying to think of the last one. I think my last one was just like an open wheel race, a one-on-one open wheel race, and I dominated like someone by like 2 minutes on that shit, I think, which is pretty funny. Yeah, someone dominates in like an open wheel race of like a BRE, whatever the best one is, whatever the like best vehicle tends to be. By like 2 minutes is pretty fun. So yeah, I'm trying to shoot for this beat part-time 25-time Taurus. That's why I'm going to be doing these HSWs and whatnot still. Just for now. Because those ones are still weekly and it's still great payouts. And very damn easy and whatnot, if I didn't already say that. But I'm trying to do certain career progressions based on like the event, like money opportunities. That's kind of what I'm doing. I was also doing a lot of stuff with the adversary modes as well, actually. Because basically every month they rotate adversary modes. Every single month they do rotate adversary modes. I've been kind of doing a lot with the adversary mode one as well. I don't really care to share much on that one yet, though. Nothing's too crazy on that one, I think. Not that anything was crazy in the race being necessary yet, but it's still... The racing one's pretty easy to, from what I can tell so far. At least until tier 4. Tier 4 is where it really starts to get to be a bitch now. You need like 50 fastest laps or some shit, I forget. be like a Rockstar best time or some shit on like races, I forget. I don't know why I'm actually going this way. I need to go to the casino right now, damn it. I only landed there, so I wasn't like flying around on top of my pre-am race the whole time like it was for half of it, but still. Wasn't seeing good options for it. Alright. But yeah, from what I recall hearing on the Wagner, I believe this one's the Dubache Wagner for the podium, even though I kind of said Wagner before. I meant to kind of just reveal the name at the end there with what I was saying. Okay. Alright, is there a bonus for 940,000 right now?
VIP members. Take advantage of our luxury valet, limousine, and helicopter.
Oh nice, it's got over 20,000 more chips, I'll take it. It's very exclusive currency, I'll always take chips. Gladly always be taking. I'll definitely always be gladly taking chips. But Wagner, I believe, is one that's FOMO here. I don't. From what I remember hearing, I think the Wagner is FOMO. I could be wrong. Fear of missing out, so it could be one that's unavailable on the websites with the recent stuff they've been doing with Andreas Mercenaries, with vaulting like almost 200 vehicles in the game at this point. That one was like gun running supercar, I swear on it. Oh, you can actually still get the Wagner, okay. Must be some of those other ones, and especially at Simeon's. I think they tend to put those especially in the Simeon area. Okay, so yeah, on the casino podium, it's the Dubache Wagner. You can purchase it at any time, even with the vehicles they removed as Andreas Mercenaries. So no FOMO on it, you don't have to worry about that. By getting the Wagner, you will be saving $1,535,000. Plus, if there's a delivery on it or anything, that could be like another 20-ish, like 30,000 if you keep the exact delivery on it. But I don't actually think the vehicle has delivery support on it. But the Wagner, before the further power creep on the supercars of like the Diamond Casino Resort DLC, it used to be a pretty damn good supercar. Now I think it's more like top 5 if I recall, maybe like more like top 10 stuff now because of HSW and stuff. This one's definitely had a huge decline, especially like 2019 onwards, I would say. But it's been pretty nice, like 2017 to 2019. It should still maybe be within top 10, I believe, somewhere. At least in the lap time, I think. I'll be looking for exact performance on the spreadsheet I mentioned earlier here. So, the Wagner. Apparently, according to Bruffy 132, according to the spreadsheet, it is in the A tier for the supercar class, which gives it 8th place for lap time, and then 17th place for top speed. Okay, so top speed is not within top 10, but lap time's within top 10, which is pretty decent. It could be a vehicle pretty worth picking up, for sure. It could definitely be a pretty nice one to pick up. So it should still be pretty good. And yeah, On 8th-gen, I think it's more in top 5 instead of top 10 for lap time, which is even better there. Since, yeah, 9th-gen, you have the weaponized Ignis HSW, the Cyclone 2 HSW, and the Devastate HSW. I know there's an DMT HSW, but apparently it's like 20th place lap time even with HSW, which is not good. So instead of like 8th place lap time, it's like 5th place on 8th gen. So top 10 lap time 9th gen, top 5 lap time just barely on 8th gen. You can definitely get some pretty nice performance on it. Could be very good. Could be a pretty decent vehicle to have regardless of platform. Definitely could be a nice one to earn there. Could be worth doing extra wheel spins for that one. So I'll go onto their crime scene or something. Oh yeah, I think it's one of those crime scenes. Yeah, I'm not gonna care for that right now, no. I don't really feel like getting a one level on like these Zippo poses and stuff, to be quite honest, so I'm just not gonna bother. Though they did increase it to 25,000 with Andreas Mercenaries, so it is actually kind of nice, and it's actually not too difficult to do at all, so I should have maybe went for it, but I just really don't care to lose the Popos though. Granted, I could probably just win an interior like this, I think, and then just lose them anyways. Still did my spirit one's definitely a good job, and I have recall and stuff, which can get a little bit annoying. Yeah, outfits, I think it's clearly pretty much been done now. Just make sure it's not here. Okay, it's not. Still wearing the shirts then. You know, it's the units right. So it doesn't have the typical. That's like 9-gen only stuff. It's not tied to reputation, I believe, though. Okay, here it is. Okay. The Imponte Modern Racing. Probably got that for 217. Okay, so the test ride vehicles this time around. There's probably a lot of FOMO ones here since a lot of day one supercars. But there's like day one supercars like the Vodka and the Infernus, which I highly doubt they kept on the website. So probably a lot of FOMO ones here, to be honest. I'm mainly looking to see if any is on discount. I'm probably going to predict the XA21 on a discount if there is even one on discount this time. Actually, does not look like there's a discount for this stuff here this time. Alright, yeah, not a single supercar on discount, so there's definitely no discount here this time. So take some of the information here with a grain of salt. I'm not going to be going into like number performance, but Vodka, Infernus, they're clearly going to be trash. They're clearly going to be trash performance-wise since they're day one supercars. all the DLC power creep, these are definitely not going to be good, let's be real here. And I don't really see the XA21 being too great either, to be honest. Since you have like the Diamond Casino Resort supercars, HSW on 9th gen, Wagner clearly, as I've shown. Probably not top 5 for sure, but I don't know. Could be within top 10 at best, but even then I kinda doubt it. I mean, I guess I could kinda look real quick here since I was already looking at a supercar. Yeah, no. Not looking like it's within top 10 range on the X8.1 either. Here, any of these Filmono? Probably, since, like I said, day one's car is probably not gonna be stay on the West Ends, really. What the new stuff Rockstar's done lately. There's no way any of that would be on Stubborn, so I can guarantee this. Day one supers are not here. XA21 might be another, like, I don't know, I think XA21 is a gun running supercar as well, just like Wagner. I could be wrong on that. I don't feel I'm really seeing it now, so. Okay, it was definitely not the latest decade that introduced XA21. That was before 2020, I swear on it. Yeah. Looks like there's for sure FOMO on all 3 of them. So if you want any of them, you might want to be picking them up. Again, I don't really recommend these, since you can just get them in story mode. They're 2013 supercars, so you can easily just get them in the story mode anyways, so don't bother with them when you're not on. XA21 on the other hand, it is actually used in Rockstar created transform races if I recall. So you can actually use it in a Rockstar created transform race pretty effectively if I recall, so it could be one actually kind of worth picking up. I actually own an XA21 because it is used in one of those transform races. I swear that's the reason I own one, so definitely could be one worth picking up if they ever do a money opportunity on transform races. Transform race money opportunity can be pretty nice for that. Prize ride this time around is going to go to the P. Fister Comet SR, which I think can actually be kind of a respectable sport car in the game, actually. I don't know, it might be in transform races as well, just like the XA21, so even if it's not good performance, it could maybe be something that could be worth picking up for Rockstar created transform races, so you can do as best as possible in those if those ever go on a money opportunity or anything. I believe it's from Doomsday Heist. I think it is one that's used in one of those transform races, I swear. Okay, so our prize ride challenge this time involves the Street Race Series. And that's going to require placing top 1 for 3 days in a row. Now, street races only require 2 players. That's not technically difficult at all. If you're playing with a friend, you exchange wins with a friend. Now, if you're playing against randoms, they're not just going to purposely let you win, I imagine, so that's not going to be as easy there. Yeah, street races, it's 2 players. It is a pretty good support car if I recall, and if not, it's usable in transform races. I think it's a pretty fair challenge, I think, for this vehicle. I think it's a pretty fair challenge for it. If you have a friend, you can exchange wins with a friend. If you have a friend that wants to come SR and you also want to come SR, just go back and forth on wins. And yeah, right, I actually have one here because I actually did a street race. Because I was curious if it counted towards the like top 5 thing I showed earlier, but I guess I didn't since I already did a community series. I already did a community series that had like sport class selected and the sport tuners are the things that tend to be greatest there. I mean, it depends on how you do that all, I guess, but still. But yes, it's a free vehicle you can pick up, so I do want to go over exact performance numbers on this one, therefore. Alright, yes, the comment as far as it looking pretty nice here, actually. Or at least it did before the Stinger TT, at least. Since spreadsheets as of Colonel Enterprise, apparently, so there was some of her sport cars. First of all, is this one FOMO or not? I think it might be, honestly. I might be wrong, though. But yeah. I do think it's Doomsday Heist, just like the comment Safari, so I think it should be around here. Yeah, I think they vaulted it. I think they definitely vaulted it there. And then you have stuff like the S2 and the S2 Cabrio, but that's clearly not the same thing. So there's FOMO on this one. So you want it, you gotta get it for the prize ride this time. So I can't really show off the price you see because of that, and then technically, free the game. So yes, Comet SR, according to the spreadsheet, in the sport class on 9th gen, at best it looks like it is 8th place for lap time. At best it's looking like 8th place for lap time. And then it looks like it will be 23rd place for top speed. Now, that is an older placement that is as like Colonel Enterprise, so you have to put into account like Drug Wars. I don't think Drug Wars had any super great sport cars, but its latest San Andreas Mercenaries DLC has been pretty good for sport cars so far. And there's still like one more in the drip feed. I think it's only probably pretty good HSW at least as well. So yeah, the sport class is getting pretty shaken up in this update, so I don't really think it's too reliable anymore on the 9th gen at least. 8th gen is probably pretty fine still on 8th gen though. At least for a little bit longer, at least. But again, the placements on the spreadsheet I'm using is like 8th and 23rd. But there's a new Italics Stinger TT, regular one should be pretty good on that. HSW especially pretty good. So it's probably at the bottom of top 10 at this point, at like best. And yeah, there's another HSW sport car that should be coming out, I believe, as well for the Derivade, so I think this will be the update where it's outside of top 10, I think, for lap time. And yeah, top speed's within the 20s already, so yeah. 9th gen, you're probably gonna wanna avoid this one eventually. For now, it may be a little good, but just want to get outclassed pretty soon, from what I can tell from drip feed. Coming out, so 8th gen though. 8th gen though. But yes. For HN, you don't have the S95 HSW, and then you don't have the HSW version of the Banshee, so it moves up a little bit for HN because of that. And then, yeah, you don't have the Stinger GT. You don't have the Stinger TT, whatever HSW as well. The Stinger TT HSW exists now, so that's like 3 placements up would go for an 8th gen compared to 9th gen placement at least. Regular Stinger TT is probably pretty good as well, so it probably goes up 4 more placement for 8th gen. So, still alright 8th gen, definitely. 9th gen I would definitely avoid it now. Maybe not now, but it's not going to be too much more useful. But yes, I swear it is in a transform race though. I do own one, I'm pretty sure, and I swear it is in a transform race, so just like the X821 over there, you can use it in certain Rockstar created transform races, and if custom's on, then you get a certain advantage with it as well. So it could be at least worth it for transform races regardless of its performance. And then, yeah. Last but not least, the HSW test ride this time around is the Karen S95. And yes. This one is in the sport class. And at least before the Stinger TT, it was pretty heavy for the lap time. I believe the Stinger TT HSW is the new #1 for lap time and top speed. But apparently the Stinger TT does not perform as good handling-wise. Handling on the Stinger TT is not that great, so it doesn't handle as good as the S95s. So S95 in some situations can maybe be better for lap time than your Stinger TT. So it's still a good secondary HSW sport car to have. It's still a nice secondary option. But it's definitely fell off a bit with the latest update. And yes, I did mention there's another sport car HSW that will be coming out for the Drifting. So maybe it gets a little outclassed at this point. But yeah. This one you can actually get for free though. You can get this one actually for free if you are a returning player. And with Andreas Mercenaries, your 8th gen account no longer gets deleted anymore with Andreas Mercenaries. For those that might not have heard, your 8th gen account no longer gets deleted with like transferring a character from 8th gen to 9th gen. So there's no downside anymore to transferring your character on the 9th gen system. So it essentially becomes a free vehicle if you've had the 8th gen vehicle. If you've had the 8th gen version of the game before and you transfer over to 9th gen, through the character transfer system they have in place. So, since you can kind of get it for free there, you might as well just get one through that method. I'm just saying it's not going to be as good anymore with Andreas Mercenaries. But it could still be very good regardless though. To expand on it a little bit, apparently the regular Italy GTO is actually better lap time than the S95. Same might go for the regular Stinger TT and the 8th gen version of the Stinger TT, where you don't have HSW. So there's a couple regular vehicles that even have better lap time than the S95 apparently. But again, you can just get it for free through transferring your character over, so you might as well just get one if you have the 8th gen account to put over to 9th gen. Since Andreas Mercenaries, there's no penalty anymore, you don't lose your 8th gen character anymore. So, luxury autos this time around. Looking like a Lampadati Tygon. From what I heard, it sounds like there's no supercar discounts, and this one should be the full price. Stafford should be on a discount though. $2,000,000 for 34,000 for 70. Yeah, it's definitely a pretty normal price right there. This was a supercar from the summer special update in mid 2020, I'm pretty certain. Is it film mode? It might not be film mode. I think I remember it might still be on there. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it is film mode. Yeah, because I only see a Kakwa D10, so I guess it is film mode on. So if you want it for any reason, you might definitely want to be picking it up. It's not on discount though, so I'm not going to go over exact numbers. But again, you have your Diamond Casino Resort supercars that are pretty good with like the Progen Emirates, Benefactor Krieger for 8th gen. It's not HSWs, it's not going to be a top contender for 9th gen pretty much. The S90RR, not as good as the other two Diamond Casino Resort ones, but the S90RR, that like 101 from that update's pretty good. You have ones like the Wagner as well, and it's pretty good for a lot of times. That already knocks off a good few like placements for lap time at least, and I know it's not anywhere in the top or top speed. So I guarantee it's not that great performance. So it's probably not worth picking this one up too much, I'll be quite honest, performance-wise. The Ian Stafford though, this one is actually on a discount apparently. Right now, you can get it for $913,770. Okay, is it FOMO? No. I kinda don't think it is, actually. Okay, actually, it might be 2017, late 2018. Oh, free crawler, but no Stafford. It's 4-door, right? I think it's 4-door, right? Is it not 4 doors? I don't know. It looks like it has 4 doors, but is there even like handles on the back doors? Yeah, that's the words. Yeah, that's the words about the vehicle now. Because yeah, it's not special, not motorcycle, not featured. So it's definitely vaulted. So if you want it, you gotta get it this week, pretty much.
Hey, what's going on?
But yeah, it is in the sedan class, which is not the most popular class. So it's something you could easily go without. And in its class, it's not even a great performing one, I could swear to, but it is on discount, so I'm gonna go into exact numbers here. So for the sedan class, the Stafford, according to the spreadsheet, is at the top of H tier. H tier is a good bit beneath F, so that's pretty garbage lap time at 29th place at best. And then it's also 29th place at best for top speed as well. And there's like 30 to 35 like sedans in the entire game right now, so that's very bad. So this is not a performance vehicle at all. It is pretty cool, though. It is a pretty cool vehicle, though, because it is actually in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. In Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, it was actually one of his vehicles you have to do for like the export and like import side mission, whatever in that game. It's pretty cool. And that one has a pretty unique horn effect, sound effect. I think the stock horn on this is pretty unique as well in this version of the game too, if I recall right. So it might have a pretty unique horn as the stock horn if you don't upgrade your horn options. That could be something pretty cool on that one. It's a pretty cool horn sound, and it's from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas from the 3D Universe games. That's pretty tight. So it's really best for nostalgia purposes, and probably customization possibly as well. So in the right circumstances, it could be kind of a fun vehicle to own, but it's not going to really get you anywhere in terms of racing or anything. So most likely you probably would not want that much. I think you can actually get it, by the way, on 9th gen now for the career progression, I think. Pretty sure you can. Alright, yes. You get a free in a Stafford if you do the tier 4 for after hours, by the way. So if you do that, and I think the only like hard part of that would kind of be the celebrity appearance thing. That's a pretty easy way to just get one for free on 9th gen. Granted, that is just for 9th gen and it's not 8th gen things. So if you want it on 8th gen or PC, you're going to pretty much have to fork up the money for it. But yeah, it depends on if you like San Andreas a lot, really, if I would get it or not. Okay, Hustler, the Swinger. Oh, that's a Michelle EGT. Okay, I might have said it was a red name before. I think I meant to go over the names of them actually on like the main menu, but I got most of it right probably. Hermes. Alright, yeah, I think I got everything but the Michelle EGT right for my predictions there. I thought it was like a Redney Mark 1 or a Redney Mark 2 to be honest. I don't know, I'm not the biggest car person or anything, so I'm not surprised I got it wrong, but still. Now, it means it says following returning retro vehicles, which to me suggests that all of them are probably vaulted or something. I want to be absolutely sure though. I think Hustler is like a two-door from like Doomsday Heist or something. If I'm remembering right, around that kind of time. Yeah, I think that one's definitely on the Legendary if I recall right. Swinger, two-door on Legendary, Sport Classic. Certainly. Oh, it could maybe still be there. I don't know. Alright, no, it's just a classic. Show GT. I think that looks two door to me. That's stubborn somewhere. It's probably not on here, I'm assuming. Yeah, I think not for sure. I wouldn't say Hermes, I thought was on Legendary for a two door. Also car. was for sure during Doomsday Heist. And it's the day one GB700 here. That would definitely be on Legendary. Alright, yeah. I'll do the R FOMO. So if you absolutely want any of these, then you do gotta pick them up here. But yeah, it's Rapid Hustler. I already went over to Hermes. I'm not gonna go over the other ones too much since they're not on a discount. They are full price, but Hustler, if I'm remembering right, is actually surprisingly good for top speed, more than you would probably expect. But I forget if it's even within like top 10 top speed or anything like that. I don't know, it could maybe somewhere good in top speed, but top speed's pretty niche anyways. It is a nostalgic retro vehicle in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So if you like it a lot in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, then it could be something worth picking up. Like the Stafford, it's in that game as well. In Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, it's actually like your first like girlfriend's vehicle, Denise Robinson, whatever, like last name, whatever the fuck, that girlfriend from the story of the game in that one mission. That's her vehicle. Pretty sure. Swinger. Swinger might be a retro vehicle from the 2D universe. I forget, to be honest. I think it's got some pretty alright performance in the Sport Classic class, but even then you have your like retro, like old school supercars on the top of Sport Classic these days. It's not gonna be as good as like the old school supercars like your Turismo Classic, Cheetah Classic, like Furnace Classic, probably even and whatnot to an extent. But should still be pretty alright, I think, for Sport Classic stuff. And again, they're not on discount. I'm not going into the exact numbers. It takes all with a grain of salt, by the way. Show GT, I want to say this is in Sport Classic class, I think. Yeah, I think this one's in Sport Classic class. Oh yeah, they put it on the newswire, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. It's not gonna be as good as a Swinger. It's definitely not gonna be as good as a Swinger anywhere, I would say, so... Not one that's gonna be too worth getting, I guarantee it. I don't think it appears in a previous GTA or anything either, so... Doesn't really have nostalgia going for it either, then. I mentioned everything about the Hermes at the beginning, where it was on, like, the main menu. And JB700, it's a day one sport classic vehicle. But yes, the regular JB700 you can only, not that, that's not what I mean. Regular JB700, it is the only one of these few that you can also get in story mode. Being a 2013 vehicle, you can get it in story mode of the game, so not really much of a reason to get it in the online. The weaponized one is a whole different model and online. That was added with the Diamond Casino Heist DLC, I'm pretty sure it was. So yeah, this is not the one you want if you want the weaponized one. This is the decommissioned, unweaponized version. guarantee it also doesn't perform as good as the Swinger probably as well, just like the Mercenaries GT. And even then, why would you get a regular one? Like, you just get the weaponized one that's more permanently available anyways. Pretty sure the weaponized one you can pretty much always get in the game. Unlike this one. And yeah, just to get it in story mode, there's not much point getting it here. So, to an extent, this is the only one on discount, so in a way, it's kind of the main recommendation. Swinger would probably be the good number 2 recommendation performance-wise. Hustler may be like my number 3 recommendation from best to worst. Being GT Online exclusive, I'm gonna put the Mercenaries GT at number 4. And then the worst one would have to go to the regular JP700. Since you can just get in story mode and it's not the weaponized one. If I had to do it in like best to worst order, since there's a good few of them there. So that should pretty much finish all the showrooms there. Now I think I just gotta go over remaining money opportunities and then any remaining discounts, advice and stuff. Again, in terms of any of the new stuff, the Project Overthrow and the LSA operations, I have not played them yet, so I'm not gonna go into any advice on those. I still plan on playing them maybe in the next couple of few days. Especially with the career progression being a thing, I've been playing a lot more often, so I haven't really just got to those yet. For live streams of the content, plus, yeah. I have to consider if I've been wanting to do like those career challenges when I first played them as well. I don't know, I think for my first experience I should just try to have fun with the missions and I shouldn't necessarily go for all the career stuff though. I could be wrong now. Maybe I'll just go for the career stuff as much as I can, like on my first playthroughs, I don't know, make it a little more interesting than usual. Not sure I'm fine with this, I'm not necessarily meaning to go anywhere yet, I don't think. But yeah, I'm not going to mention any more on the Project Overfall and, not Overfall, but I'm not going to mention any more on Project Overthrow and the LSA operations since I haven't played those yet. It's not going to be right to go over those if I don't know anything too much on them. And if I don't want to mention for the very minimal stuff I did mention, I have. And yeah, to be clear, it's the last event where you can get the Avenger livery, the V65 Molotov conveyor livery. There's like a certain hoodie and some other clothing item I think as well for like the little like event where you get certain liveries and whatnot right now. That's the last week for all that for this event week. So once this event week expires, those rewards will be gone basically. And will no longer be able to be obtained.
Looking good, boss.
So I'm here to talk more about security contracts. So, I'm mainly talking about them over here because security contracts, you want to be at the agency to do them. You get a lot more control over the security contracts that you do when you do them on this computer here. Whereas if you do it through the phone, then Franklin chooses for you, basically. So, security contracts. If you do it from your cell phone and you call Franklin, you only get like a random security contract. You won't know the kind you get, and you won't know your difficulty level as well down here. So it's random difficulty level, like random, like security contract. If you do it for Franklin on the phone, that's not a good way to do it at all. Right now on Double Money on a professional game termination, you're actually getting $83,500. That's pretty crazy, and that's just the least difficulty on there too. Rescue operation. This one I have right now is a specialist. Double Money right now, you're getting $106,500. That's insane. And that's only the middle difficulty as well. And then my vehicle recovery, I only got professional, and that's only like 76,500 compared to like the game termination. Get like another 7,000, I think, for that. Could be worth, could be not. Let's see, I probably wouldn't. Probably, I don't know. I gotta remember all the different types here first. But yeah, if you do it for the computer, you get three options compared to one with calling Franklin, where you just choose it, like difficulty and contract for you. So since you can actually see what you're doing, I do prefer the agency computer. So, as for the different versions of security contracts, gang termination, you eliminate the senior gang members as requested by the client there. This one, you may think it's terrible because they've only done one, but that's not necessarily the case. The reason I've only done one is because there was a time where they actually took out gang termination. When they actually first released the contract DLC, gang termination was bugged out essentially. Like, characters could actually just not spawn at all, which would make it impossible to complete the gang termination. So the only reason I've only done one is because there was a glitch with it, and Rockstar had to like remove it for a while. But it's really not one of your better options regardless, though. The AI accuracy and stuff on there, the accuracy of the AIs on that one's kind of a bitch. You have like gang leaders and stuff like that. Senior gang members, it's basically like gang leaders, and the gang leaders might have some pretty insane accuracy, if I recall, with their gunfire and whatnot. So you do have better options for sure. I wouldn't say it's terrible, no. So if you do see one and you think it's one of your better options, probably just take it, to be honest. If you're a more pro player in the game as well. Rescue Operation, I've done 41 of these. It's clearly a pretty nice one, I would say, in my opinion, if I've done 41 of the 201 I have done. And yeah, this one you just take a person, you extract them to safety, pretty easy. Pretty easy with the Super Volito, you can just spawn for free. You can spawn like a Super Volito for free for the agency each time, which makes it pretty nice. Otherwise, you can use other Pegasus vehicles, and I think it's only like 200 bucks or something, not anything super crazy. If you want to use something else, probably. But again, you can't use weaponized helicopters for the spawns for this. Unfortunately, for this property, you cannot use weaponized like helicopters. It's annoying, but it is what it is. And your vehicle recovery. this is actually one of your better options. As you've seen, I've done 62. There's a reason for that. And that's because there's a third difficulty level known as Specialty Plus. Or Specialist Plus. I mean, there's only 2 things in total that can have the Specialist Plus difficulty, apparently. And those are apparently the ones that require you to take something to your agency. So that's vehicle recovery, and then you have to, like, I think it's recover valuables or something like that is the only other one that has the highest difficulty level. So vehicle recovery, you can have some of your best possible payouts through that, since it's one of the only 2 that get the Specialist Plus difficulty. So for that reason, you want to prioritize the vehicle recoveries pretty nicely, especially if it's Specialist Plus. Again, I think the only other one that's Specialist Plus, I think, is the one where you recover valuables that you take back to the agency. And there's like a good couple to few more variants. I'm going to try to think what they are now. Again, I basically mentioned the 4th one, recover valuables. The only other one that has a Specialist Plus difficulty is definitely a pretty easy, nice one as well, that you should be prioritizing when you can. Asset protection. If there's one that's totally bad that you want to avoid, it's the asset protection one. Asset protection, it lasts like 10 to 15 minutes, and there's no way to slow down it. Not slow down. It's guaranteed. Asset protection is guaranteed to last 10 to 15 minutes, whatever the timer is. I think it's 10 minutes. So you're basically stuck in a mission for 10 minutes and you can't make it go any faster, which is garbage, whereas all the other ones, it's done when you complete them naturally. 2, on asset protection, if an asset gets destroyed a little bit, then you lose money towards the payout, I believe, as well. So just avoid asset protection at all costs, again. And then, yeah, there's a 6th one I can think of right now where you have to, like, destroy assets, I'm pretty sure. So it's basically the opposite of recover valuables. You're destroying and never, like, gains, like, valuables, I believe, essentially. That one's pretty alright. It's not terrible. It's just a pretty alright one. And not one of your couple greater ones with Specialist Plus, like vehicle recovery and recover valuables, though. So it's a pretty average one on that one. Trying to remember any others, or if there is just 6, I'm not sure on top of my head. If there's any I haven't mentioned, I would say they're pretty average, really, though. So any I haven't mentioned would be pretty average at best, I would say. So it could be ones worth doing if I haven't mentioned them yet. And yeah, you may have noticed I have 201 security contracts. There's actually a reason for that. You may notice my wall safe right now is at $40,000. So you may wonder why I get $20,000 per time it fills up. That's because I have the 201 security contracts. It increases by $500, I think, per 5 security contracts, and it caps out at 201. I think when they first came out with the update, it actually capped out at like 50,000, and you would have to get like 500 to like 501, but they nerfed it like soon after release, I believe, and then it got down to like 20,000 at the highest for 201 security contracts. I feel with the career thing now, they should have brought that back, I feel, personally, but they probably didn't. Let's be real, they probably did not do that. Or at least increase it to like 30,000, I feel they should. But I guarantee they didn't do any, they probably did not do any of that, let's be real here. And that would be like a 9th gen incentive only, really, to be fair, but still, would have been nice. But yeah. That's a nice little huge bonus you can get there. And how much did I make total on these? Because I think most of mine were actually regular money, believe it or not. But yeah. This 23 million, I believe most of that was regular money as well. So you imagine you're going to be making insane money on double if most of mine was regular money, if it indeed was, I think. If not, then it was probably like 1.5 times. So I think most of my stuff was regular money. Just want to see what the regular capabilities was. And yeah, if you're on knife gen, there's more incentive to do that now. And it's one of the better options here, actually, too. Wait, what? I think Rockstar were smoking the smoke when they made this. I think there's only 3 short trip missions, I'm pretty sure, I thought. Uh, am I wrong when I'm saying that's only 3? I could swear there's only 3. Unless somehow you have to do like regular and hard difficulty for all of them, is what they meant, I don't know. But yeah. Oh. I thought it could be 100 of any. You have to do specials or specials plus. Oh yeah, you're getting a better payouts at least. Bruh. But yeah, I'm definitely shooting for that. Definitely doing that. I'm definitely going to do some more stuff there. That's going to be such a long one to shoot for, but you can't even get the Yuga Custom in 8th gen. You can't even get the Yuga Custom in 8th gen, then that's a 9th gen only career thing here. For legitimate means, I mean, not for glitches or anything. There's probably ways to get it illegitimately or something, I don't know. But I think there's a blacklist kind of thing like that. I'm curious if that's a personal vehicle or a Pegasus vehicle, to be honest. I'm definitely pretty curious about that. I'll definitely be shooting for some of that after the stream and whatnot. That's going to be pretty fun. Yeah, this is a great week to shoot for 100 security contracts on those difficulties. Definitely be sure to do that for some great money.
Anything I can do for you, boss?
A goddamn 100 pay bonus with the assassination bonus, and that's with the 48-minute cooldown that they changed. What's the Andreas Mercenaries? Where instead of like 20-minute cooldown, it's 48-minute cooldown. Like, fuck that shit. Apparently, you can find over pay bonus from what I hear, and you can kind of avert it a little bit. At least that's what I think I've heard. Yeah, I don't know. I think this money amount speak for himself, to be honest. I don't think I'm gonna do one on stream, though. Instead, I might do like a security contract on stream, but yeah. Just trying to get all the information covered here at this point for the news wire and everything. I don't know why I wanted to go back to commands and stuff. I don't know. I just kind of just wanted to talk about the security contract thing there. Wait, there might have been ones for security contract I forgot to mention, but any that I didn't mention I think are pretty average though. mentioned like all the super good ones, and then I mentioned the one pretty terrible one, and another kind of terrible one with gang extermination, I guess. That was mainly because it was glitched at the time or something. But yes, like I said, if you do it for the phone, you don't see difficulty or any of that. It just says request security contracts. You get a random thing entirely. Not good for the career progress thing, clearly. And not good for general grinding, too. And yeah, with those, you definitely want to be doing as many pavement hits as you can between the time as well. Even though they're not on money opportunity, I would highly recommend them, especially on the career progression on next gen. Because that Yuga custom is going to be one of the better rewards you can get, since it's pretty highly exclusive. Not in 8th gen at all. You cannot legitimately obtain it at all in the 8th gen. Definitely a high recommendation, and do on it as much as you can this event. Yeah, this is a damn good money making week, I swear, for sure. Yeah. In terms of Project Overthrow, by the way, you can just call Charlie. I think you don't have to go to your place each time. But yeah. I assume it's random, like with the thing that Franklin has of his security contracts. Again, they're kind of reskin security contracts, difficulty-wise at least. Yeah, they're basically reskin security contracts from what I saw with like a difficulty thing, like the professional and specialist and all that stuff. So I assume that's kind of random, and I think there's only 3 types of those, or something. I could be wrong. Something like that all. So yeah, I'm not going to go into general advice because I just haven't played them yet, but I feel this could probably be pretty good. I feel security contracts would probably be a little bit better, I want to guess. But this could probably be pretty nice too. But I'm definitely shooting for security contract thing with the Yuga custom.
Yo, where you at, Lo? You said 10 minutes away, 40 minutes?
But again, last reminder, this is the last week for Andreas Mercenaries bonuses event. So if you want those couple liveries, the couple clothing items you gotta do this week, if you have yet to do so. Seems to finish off the money opportunities, it will be the 2 times money RP on the air races. So, any Rockstar created air race at all will be on a 2 times money and RP. Now, I think races for like 8 to 10 minutes, whatever, for the best payout on like the old money amounts, like for Chrono Enterprise on a 2 times, I think would be like 16,000-ish it would cap at. And that's if you're doing it solo and you're doing it for the max payout time for like 8-10 minutes, whatever it is for a race. Of course, if you're playing with 5 players, that would mean more money in addition to that. You know, long race, especially with a lot of laps and whatnot. As long as it's spent like 8-10 minutes, you don't want to last any longer than that because you don't really get paid after a set amount of time. But yeah, I think it was 50% boosted to payout, so it should be more than like 20-ish thousand. 20, like 25-ish thousand you can make by yourself for 8 to 10 minutes or something. So you can make some okay money, I guess. I mean, not okay money. Not gonna be good solo at all. Solo, not gonna be very good at all. But I gotta be honest though, since they did not increase the hangar space though, since they did not increase hangar space, I feel I was running out of good air vehicles to use, to be honest. A lot of the better performing aircrafts, I think, for custom aircrafts are the ones that aren't weaponized, like the Alpha Z1. Alpha Z1 is like the good lap time plane, at least it was before the Raiju came out. But when you can't use the Raiju, then you pretty much need Alpha Z1. Like in one of those Caprico like airplane races, you can't use that there, so you have to use that Alpha Z1 if you have it custom for good lap time option and feel really. And yes. And yes. The good lap time helicopter, I believe, is the regular Kanata. But again, like the Alpha Z1, I had to sell that shit so I could get one of the newer, like, aircraft since they didn't increase the hangar space. So if you're like me, you had to sell some of your, like, non-weaponized custom aircrafts, and yeah, good luck actually doing that great in these air races. Because I was going against someone who was pretty good with. I was going against like an 1,000 plus who knows like all the good vehicles he used, and I only won like the helicopter Caprico races. I was doing some Caprico air races. I beat their regular Kanata with a. I beat their regular Kanata with a F81 Hunter. Is what I did. But yes. I beat a regular Kanata with my Hunter on a race. That was pretty fun. Being a Kanata with the Hunter in a race was pretty cool. Or a helicopter race. Yeah, this one I know you can use the Raiju, so that's nice. Yeah, all kinds of different ones. If you want some more interesting options here, there's some air races for Kyle Perico. Those do count towards double as well. So you can do the plane one or the helicopter one for Kyle Perico, and you can get money in air for 2 times. So those can definitely be a couple of your more interesting options. That's for your day 1 air races, pretty much. Yeah, Slash Brothers 2 Kyle Perico ones is probably pretty basic stuff, I would say, when it comes to these races. Just not a lot of like additional air races. That's for the 2 Caprica ones, really. So that's for the like initial batch or whatever. That's for sure. So yeah, probably easy to weakest. I would say it's kind of the weakest money opportunity for sure. Pretty fun one though, that's for sure. It's definitely pretty fun. And yeah, from there I just gotta go for certain discounts. And the gun van lineup too. I didn't find a gun van, so I gotta go over the gun van stuff entirely too. I guess you don't get Rooster for your contacts, I mean. Unless somehow he's in here, but I wouldn't have disabled him at first or anything. Okay, Charlie's at the bottom. I don't know if you get Rooster as a contact, but this will have to do, I guess, for my little indicator, because I'm not going to the hangar to talk about that. Oh yeah, so I'll see you because of the contract thing. The security contracts explain this, right? So, regarding your hangar, speaking to Rooster McCraw in the hangar, asking him to source the smuggler cargo good for you would cost 50% less than usual. But yeah, I think it's like 25,000 normally, and the crates normally give you 30,000 on the regular money. On a money event, like money opportunity, it can be pretty good, but hangar crates right now are only $30,000 because hangar was only double pretty recently, so I think it's 25,000 to get it normally, but it's 12,500 I think right now on 50% off. For speaking to Rooster, to get in the store to use smuggler cargo. But yeah, you can source cargo for free. You don't have to pay to source cargo in this game. I mean, not in this game, but in this business. Unlike the special cargo where you're paying to source the crates, where the special cargo one's actually good. I don't really recommend Rooster, I'll be quite honest. If you're shooting for certain cargo types only, for those certain bonuses for sticking to one type of cargo, that's just really going to ruin that if you don't get the right type of cargo. I only did it one time to show it off on stream, but yeah. Usually you get one crate, you can maybe get 2 crates from what I've heard. I don't think I've heard of anyone getting 3 crates. I don't know if you can with a special cargo though. I mean, it can make solo grinding better, which is nice, but you gotta get lucky with the types and stuff too, which I still wouldn't really recommend solo even in that case. So I don't think Rooster 50% off the cargo thing is service. It's not a good service in the first place. I don't think it's a very good discount. It's a nice convenience, but everything else it's mostly an inconvenience. Mostly an inconvenience, to be honest. Yes. So I wanted to mention some more about agency properties, maybe. I probably mostly mentioned what I wanted to mention. Right, that's actually on the executive website. It's either on, but it's not there. But yeah. Holic, I believe, is the most expensive, so I can't really show what the most expensive one goes for. Cheapest one right now seems to go for 1,206,000. So 804,000 off the cheapest one is definitely pretty nice. You can get agency for a little over $1 million, which is pretty nice. But yes. A little over $1 million for agency agency is not a terrible starting point, given the crazy money you can get during this event. After all, you can easily pay for itself, even if you're getting the most expensive one for the base property itself, and any renovations if you do it well enough. This one's not much more of a jump. This one's like 1.4, mid 1.4, like 2.4. That's almost a million savings right there. That's pretty crazy. This one might be over a million savings and 40%. Pretty nice. Pure cosmetic with the art in there. Pure cosmetic with the wallpaper in there. Pure cosmetic with that all. Again, this armory is very nice to have, as I've mentioned in the past. Again, this armory is very nice to have, as I mentioned previously in this live stream and in the past. You can get the stun gun, which is pretty exclusive here, which I wanted to mention more on that. Even though I kind of think I mentioned it pretty much at this point. I actually forgot to mention the accommodation, but to spawn at your agency, you're going to want this accommodation. But yes, apologies, but I forgot to mention the accommodation entirely, but you need accommodation to spawn on your properties typically, so that should be a high priority there too. But yes. Actually, throwing in there near the end, of course. But I forgot to mention accommodation, definitely make sure to get that so you can spawn at the agency, because it's a very nice spawn location. Again, it's not as good as the office for being able to spawn certain weaponized helicopters there that you cannot spawn at the agency and whatnot. There's downsides to the spawn location, but it's still a nice spawn location if you're grinding the security contracts, especially. And yeah, the vehicle workshop. Vehicle workshop, they've been doing a lot of those Monitech vehicles. They've done some of the best Monitech vehicles at this point in the game as well, which is great. For this Andreas Mercenaries DLC with having HSW on 9th Gen 2 on the Monitech, that's crazy. For first time, or for the first time with Andreas Mercenaries, they've done a Monitech and HSW at the same time. It's just tight as fuck. So let's say you want like a lot of the most expensive stuff there. Rockford Hills is still gonna go for 3 million. Which means the other one probably be under 4 million, I would imagine. So you could probably get a whole agency under 4 million, which is pretty nice. Take away some of the nonsense cosmetics. And you're looking more like a few 100,000 off. That's very nice. Perhaps the other one would be in like 3 million territory still for the most expensive, but it's still. I already showed the crazy amount of potential we can make through the security contracts though. And if you combine pay finance with that too, goodness, that's gonna be great for money making.
I don't even really know how to check my email. Hey, if we're friends on Life Invader, we'll never have to talk on the phone. Or in real life again.
But yeah, I was not lying when I said I reached wave 16 point endless waves solo. So I basically did 10 waves in survival mode playing solo and wave 16 point endless waves all by myself. And endless wave has to be on Rockstar created as well, keep that in mind. There's no user created that can have the endless wave apparently. So you have to play a Rockstar created, so you have to be pretty limited on the maps you play. Granted, it's zombie survival solo, and it's like unarmed enemies, so it's pretty easy with that new community series. With the new community series one they did, and the latest batch, whatever. And yeah, the way I did that was with the stun gun that you get for the armory of the contract fan. So it's because of my armory giving me access to the stun gun I was even able to do that in the first place, which is crazy. When it's usually not good, it's good on the juggernauts. And again, the map I did it on was the nuclear silo. There's certain doors you can hide behind and not have like hallways behind them that make it really easy to just camp in an area. And for the most part, I only used the assault shotgun and the stun gun, with a little bit of use of the service carbine as well for more further away targets if they weren't going to me that easily, while also keeping in mind my like health and stuff as well. And I didn't refill my armor or anything after that, and yeah, I had all my types of armor still after 15 waves, because you only have to reach wave 16, you don't have to beat wave 16. And I didn't use any snacks at all. Because these are the amounts I had before that. I know you can get 30 P's and Q's, but I used them like outside of survival, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, stun gun was key to the solos 15, 16 way survival, and it's pretty crazy. Not usually good, but it's good for that. The armory is nice for the stun gun. Just to show how good the armory can be, with the career progression being a female in 9th gen. So now I can truly recommend the stun gun now, personally. It's still pretty niche, but it's very good in the niche circumstances you can use it for on the juggernauts.
Hey there, I'm hoping it's gonna be a nice weekend. I'm hitting the beach.
And again, I must see if the choose is based in comparison with the other thing. Quarters, weapon vehicle workshop, command center. But you can do all. You only have 3 bays, you can't choose all of those. Like I mentioned at the beginning, in like the main menu.
Craig's is super
So yeah, your vehicle and weapon workshops are on the 40% discount. You're not limited to certain bays and stuff like you already must see, so you might as well get them. Now of course there's multiple Mark II things, but having a vehicle workshop especially I think is pretty nice. Definitely. But Yeah, they're older things from Doomsday Heist, so you're not getting a lot of the new stuff right now on discount. Still, you're still gonna have to wait for stuff like that, but it's still nice. Still nice stuff to have.
My truck's going to honkers. Know it.
And any remaining discounts are all gonna be aircraft, so it'll be like the latest war stock kind of stuff. At like most, really. Since beneath those property discounts, it's the Albany Hermes, which I already talked about. The Albany Hermes at Simeon for muscle car. And the Stafford at Luxury Autos I talked about for the sedan there. One helicopter, 2 planes. 2 are Pegasus, 1 will be a hangar vehicle only. I think 2 are on Elitist and 1 on Warstock. I think Titan's on Elitist if I remember right. Super Velito for sure. And then I think Babushka's the one on Warstock.
In the mail, dog.
So yes, the Super Velito. Okay, interesting thing, passive mode disabled in the vehicle. That's because there's like drinks and stuff in the back. But you get the champagne and all that kind of stuff, so that's why passive mode is disabled. It's because of that. So if you want passive mode available for any reason, then not a good vehicle to be in if you want passive mode enabled. So that's a little bit of a disadvantage. But it's Pegasus. It's Pegasus. There's no vehicle storage for Pegasus. You can get unlimited Pegasus vehicles. Every time they add a Pegasus vehicle, you can guarantee that you can buy it since there's no storage for Pegasus whatsoever. Pegasus storage is unlimited, so therefore, you might as well just buy one if you have the money and want to get it at all. Andreas had a good money making event, how could I not recommend it? I want to go in my secure reserve menu as well, right? I'm actually not too used to register as a boss being on top since they changed it. It was Andreas Mercenaries called register as a boss and not CO. And like MC, it's separate options basically. But yeah, Super Velito is in the list for sea of vehicles. So normally every time you spawn it, you have to purchase it with a certain amount of money. If you buy it through Pegasus, then you can spawn it for free unlimitedly, which is great. So that's a main huge advantage if you buy it like that. So you might not think so highly of it since you can just get them on your yacht. You can get Super Velito Carbon at least on your yacht. Not sure about regular Super Velito. If you have a yacht, you might not think much of it, but if you buy the actual vehicle, you get the convenience of buying it for free, which is great. Very great to have. And then, you know, you're getting the Titan here. Super Velito is 30% off, by the way. Any vehicle discounts are 30% off. Any property discounts, including Avenger property stuff, is all 40%, by the way. But yes, 30% off of $2 million is apparently $1,400,000 on the Titan here. But yes, Titan is a day one Pegasus aircraft. It is a day one Pegasus aircraft, so you might not think a lot about it, but there's actually a good advantage you can get if you own it as a personal vehicle. Now, usually I don't recommend owning a personal Titan, since there's like exactly 20 plus. I would say there's even more than 20 aircrafts in the game at this point that are worth the hangar storage, and that's not necessarily even including the Titan. But if you do have a personal Titan, you can actually open the back of the Titan.
Yo, why you keep calling me, man?
Yes, you can actually open the back of the Titan if you have it as a personal aircraft, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, if it's for Pegasus, you cannot do such a thing unless you like shoot the back of it and like damage it or something. So actually, in this case, a personal one could be nice for a non-hangar exclusive aircraft. It's actually pretty nice to own as a personal one. That like Pegasus aircraft is worth the personal slot for sure. Would I still do it though? I probably wouldn't do, since there's ones with weapons and stuff on it. There's probably 20-ish aircrafts at this point with weapons on it that would be better worth the hangar storage. That you can only get in a hangar and it's not Pegasus. So yeah, I probably wouldn't do that, but it's a cool niche use you can get with the Titan nevertheless. If you use a primary character and a secondary character pretty heavily, you can have it on your second character, which is pretty good. So yeah, if you have all your weaponized stuff on one character, you can have like Pegasus personal stuff on a second character, which is pretty good. But yeah, besides for that, it's Pegasus, and there's unlimited Pegasus storage, so you might as well buy one if you have the money and you want to buy it for any reason. I guess they're not weaponized, I will talk performance on them too. Especially with air race stuff going on right now, for those wondering.
I'm so ready for the weekend. I'm tired of selling dream houses to billionaires
Alright,
and celebrities.
so the Super Velito. Super Velito, apparently for lap time for helicopters, is in 8th place. 8th place for lap time, 10th place for top speed. That does not include the weaponized Kanata, by the way. So that will not include the weaponized Kanata. So I assume it will be outside of top 10 for top speed for the Super Velito once that comes out. But at least for now, it's in top 10 for both lap time and top speed, which is nice for helicopters. It's not going to be as good top speed as the Velitas, which is another secure reserve CO helicopter. The Velitas for secure reserve helicopters, I think, is the best top speed. And yeah, you have a weaponized helicopter like this Stealth Akula that you can use for good lap time. And then you have like the Kanata you can do. And yeah, the Havoc and the Velitas are actually better lap time options than the Super Velito for the secure reserve. So it's nice to have the spawn convenience for the registers and boss here, but yeah. Havoc is better lap time, so does Velitas apparently. And Velitas is pretty good top speed, so why would he really use the Super Velito? Why would he really use the Super Velito over the Velitas? Either way, the spawn convenience for free is very welcome though, nevertheless. But yeah, that definitely gives it some very nice utility. Titan, I guarantee, won't be very good performance, though. In the plane class, it probably won't be that great. Alright, yeah. Titan is 29th, but with the Raiju now, yeah, with the Raiju, it's 30th place, I believe, for lap time. Maybe even 31st, actually, with the streamer as well. So 29 to 31st place lap time. 31st to like 33rd place for top speed. You're not getting good performance at all in the Titan, as you would probably expect looking at it. And it being a day one airplane in the game, by the way. And then, yeah. You kind of get the Titan Mark II, kind of, with the RM10 Bombushka on a 30% off discount. Now, for those that don't know, this is actually made cheaper with the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. For when the Drip Feed weeks, they actually decreased the price on the Bombushka, I'm pretty sure, so I think the trade price used to be like 4 million, but now it's like 3 million instead, so this can actually be one of the better prices the Bombushka has ever been at. 2,493,750. Might be one of the better prices you've ever been able to get on the Bombushka, actually, so it could be one that's pretty worth having on a trade price. It's not a bad trade price to have it on the 30% off discount. Better than most of the discounts it's probably received because of that change for pricing. But yes. This one is weaponized. I'm not going to talk about performance, but I guarantee it's not going to be super good performance with the appearance of it. It's basically just a better Titan usually. But yes. Something pretty cool with it is you can put Jado Thrust on it. Jado Thrust. It's a takeoff, I believe is what it stands for. Basically makes it where you can actually take off with the Bombushka. Otherwise, you're going to have a really hard time just taking off of something as huge as the Bombushka, so that's definitely something I highly recommend. Not weaponized stuff there with the Jado, but Jado's not a weapon thing at all, but it's definitely something I highly recommend if you're going to be using it a good bit. And then aside from that, it really just has the guns you see here. I think it has bombs too, actually. I think it has 50 bombs. Being a big plane, it should probably have at least 100 bombs, but we didn't think of that until the Volatile, I guess, and it's still the only aircraft I think that has 100 compared to 50. So 50 bombs, I mean, it's a super big target and stuff, so it could maybe kind of nice. It's not going to be super quick either. So it could be a kind of nice bombing plane, but in that regard, but if you want to be trying to bomb somebody like another player, they're probably going to be killing you easily then. Since you're a big flying tank in the sky, except you're not super tanky, there's barely any explosive resistance on this thing. I don't think it has more than basic armor, actually. It might blow up in one RPG, if not two RPGs. It's not great. And as big as it is, you can use a regular RPG pretty successfully, I guarantee it. Yeah, you're not gonna last that much in this thing if you try to bomb, let's be real here. But for player versus enemy, it could maybe be something at least. For a solo player, at least, maybe. Because that will probably be the best weapon you can have as a solo player. But yeah. You're mostly meant to use it with other players, clearly, with the guns. These are actually explosive guns on it, which is nice. Problem is though, the guns are apparently broken right now. Guns have apparently been broken on the Bombushka for a while now. One of the first adversary modes they vaulted when they started vaulting the adversary modes in like 2021 was Bombushka Run, and there's a reason for that. I think it was because the cannons were broken. And I don't think they ever fixed the cannons on the Bombushka, so can you even really use them? I don't know. That's what I've heard, at least. And it's Rockstar with all the bugs in their game with the ammo and stuff. I wouldn't doubt it. With my disappearing ammo, with like 40 sniper ammo, like 200-ish on my like SMG ammo, so I cannot even use my tactical SMG, and it's new with this update all that well, which is annoying. But yeah, they're explosive guns, and that's great. But it's a slightly tankier Bombushka with some weaponry on it, basically. Doesn't really improve it that much. And for those wondering, can you open the back on the Bombushka? Yes and no, I believe. Unlike Titan, you cannot always open the back on this. From what I've heard, you have to have from what I have heard, you have to not upgrade certain things if you have to open up the Bombushka. If you want to open the Bombushka, since he nerfed it, I think you have to not upgrade certain parts of the Bombushka. Because for some reason, Rockstar thought it was too overpowered for, like, business stuff, so they nerfed the opening of it, so you have to not have certain modifications on your Bombushka to even open the back, apparently. So if you want to open the back of a cargo plane, it's better to have the Titan and not the Bombushka. So if you want to be able to open the back of a cargo plane, get the Titan, don't get the Bombushka, since you have to have certain modifications off to even do that kind of thing, apparently. Because of nerfs they've done in the past. That's what I have heard, at least. Oh, and then there's the gun van inventory and discounts as well. I'll go into a newswire order. Assault SMG is in the thing right now. Assault SMG, it's got 60 ammo to it, that's pretty alright. It can be kind of alright, I guess. It can probably be pretty useful. It could probably be pretty useful for close to mid-range combat. Could probably be pretty useful for close to mid-range combat, but why would you not just use an assault rifle, which is more generally reliable at further ranges? I don't know. You're probably just better off using something like the surface color and over that, let's be real here, but something at least. Okay, this one's gonna be pretty funny. The precision rifle. It's not just in the gun van. It's not just in the gun van. But you have to have the subscription to get 30% off. I'm not fucking kidding. The weapon's not even good. Weapon's not even that great, and you need to plus subscription for a discount. Oh my god. Of course, there's no NPC you want to win. Okay. But yeah. It's basically a lock-on version of the regular sniper rifle. but it's not as good as the Marksman Rifle Mark II. So it's a cross of the Sniper Rifle, Marksman Rifle Mark II. It's not as good ammo capacity as the Marksman Rifle Mark II. You get 6S bullets first of all. Second of all, there's no attachments on it for some reason. This one gets a lot further range on it due to all the scope. You get a lot more range because of the scope on the Sniper Rifle. You can technically have a scope on this one depending on your like Mark II like upgrades and stuff that you do, I believe. So it's the only one that doesn't have any scope whatsoever. So it's basically a more close range sniper rifle. What's the point in that? Right, actually can't even lock onto them from here. Yeah, gee. I can't even like lock onto them all the way from the parking lot then. I think if it's made out a lot like further lock on range and a lot of the other weapons in the game, maybe it could be something, but it's garbage. It's fucking garbage. Why would you use it over the day one sniper rifle? And yes, that's precision. It's pretty precise for getting headshots, but you can get a headshot with a combat pistol and it would even be more useful than the precision rifle. If you can get a headshot with this over the precision rifle, it's more useful, basically. I don't know what they were thinking with that one. The community said a lot of negative things about it. I agree with all of that, for sure. Pretty funny, plus only discount this time. It's not even that great, aside for collecting it. Only real reason to get it is to collect it, really. Oh well, speaking of it, the combat pistol is apparently the next one in the lineup, which is pretty funny. Because I was saying, if you can get a headshot with this, it's already going to be better than the precision rifle. Fucking Ron, get out of the way, Ron. But yeah, combat pistol, only going to be real good at close ranges, let's be honest. If you're going to drive by with a pistol, it's going to be pretty much the AP pistol. Or if you're not going to use that, then you're probably going to be using like one of the revolvers. Not going to be too useful, but at least it's more useful than the precision rifle, let's be real. Yeah, I wasn't even like meaning to do that. I didn't even know like the combat pistol was the next one there. I wasn't even looking at that much. Heavy rifle. Heavy rifle. It's basically the best assault rifle with a scope on it, I would say. Main weakness of this one is it does not have a scope on it. I don't think you really need the scope on this one much for it to be great, but if you absolutely need a scope on your assault rifle, then this is basically going to be one of your better options. The only other huge competition with the 60 magazine with a scope option, I would say really would probably, for a non-Mark II weapon, sticking to Mark I only weapons that don't have Mark II, and the only other competition really is the advanced rifle. So yeah, it's a damn good assault rifle there. Definitely gonna be one of your better weapons to use there. Okay, then. Oh damn, I guess my cocaine's full, okay. Okay. And then, yeah. Mark 1. Not the Mark II, you're getting the Mark 1 version of the heavy sniper. 40% off for everybody. So wow. Plus actually gets a worse sniper discount for an exclusive discount. Though they do also get discount on the Heavy Sniper Mark 1 as well, obviously. But yeah, Mark 1 Heavy Sniper, Mark 2 right away, so you can do explosive rounds, I would say for sure. Definitely get the Mark 2 on it right away, so you can do the explosive rounds for taking out vehicles. That's very damn handy. That's an actual good discount for the Mark 1 Heavy Sniper, unlike the Precision, it's not that great. Knuckle Dusters. Yeah, Knuckle Duster is at the gun van. You can actually use it underwater, I'm pretty sure, is the one huge thing. So aside for all the cool different liveries you can have on it, which is pretty tight, you can customize it as heavy as you can for melee weapons, one of the most customizable melee weapons in the game. It's pretty tight how you can actually use it underwater too. So it's one of the few melee weapons you can actually use underwater, which can be helpful for doing a bit more damage underwater, or if you're in a fist fight underwater for some reason. So that's a pretty niche use for that you might not think of normally. And then, yeah, the newest tactical SMG will also still be available. And it's your best drive-by weapon if you're not like me and you don't have ammo glitches of your tactical SMG, then you can actually use it as your best drive-by weapon. But of course, for some reason every time I get in the game, I'm limited to like 200 plus. I am limited to 200 plus bullets on this thing every single time. Every time I get into another job and the job is done and stuff, I'm back to like 200 ammo each time. I don't know why, but as long as your ammo stays the same, it can be your best drive-by weapon. If not, then you're probably still better off with the AP pistol, because this game's a glitchy fuckfest, apparently. Fuck you, Rockstar, fix my SMG ammo, goddammit. And then you get the machete as well. Machetes at the gun van as well. Basically, probably not going to be as good as your knuckle duster since you can't use it underwater, basically. I don't know if having a blade in your hand increases your range much. I don't really think so. I don't think it really increases your melee range at all compared to the knuckle duster, so I don't really think it's preferable to choose this over that. I don't think so. So you might as well just use the one you can use underwater, at least when you are underwater. Or you won't be able to even use this anyways. Throwables this time around for the gun van, that will be Molotovs. Missing one right now apparently, probably because I used them in the zombie survival. I think I used it in the zombie survival, so I think that's why it's 29, not 30 right now, damn it. But yeah, it's pretty much always in the gun van, since you can only get them at the gun van, really. Tear gas. Tear gas is having very nice. Pipe bomb. Basically just a better grenade, really. Basically just a better grenade, really, I'm pretty sure on it. It's kind of like a sticky bomb and a grenade crossover in a way, but not as good as the sticky bomb, let's be real. And then, yeah, aside for that, I'll see just armor stuff. And that does the gunman lineup, and I'll finish the stream basically. So yes, I think that is definitely finally gonna do it for the stream. Next stream, I think I'll do the project overthrow missions. I think I might be definitely doing that for the liveries and whatnot. Alright, tier 1 and 2 are easy. Oh, tier 3 is easy too, okay. It's only tier 4 that's not easy. I usually go for no snacks, no armor, so that probably wouldn't be too hard for me. Taking less than 50% damage, I'm not sure I can really do that, let's be honest here. I don't know if I can even do that. Accuracy thing, you gotta do certain playstyles to do that well, apparently. I'm not sure much about that one. Should at least be able to get the tiers 1 for free. Let's be honest here. I assume there's nothing in terms of LSA operations on there. That was probably most for the current update, I'm assuming. Or someone accounting for your smuggler or something. Alright, yeah, nothing with LSA operations, it looks like. But yes, that's definitely going to be it for the stream now. Hope you enjoyed.